Welcome back to the Big Six Podcast Show here on CBS Sports HQ, the AFC South. Oh, a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I can't talk today. Enigma. Jeez Louise. And and man, I tell you what, it has caused some drama in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill having this to say after the Titans drafted Malik Willis.
I mean, that's part of being in a quarterback room in the same room. You know, we're competing against each other. We're watching the same tape. We're doing the same drills. I don't think it's my job to mentor him, but if he learns from me along the way, then that's a great thing.
Breach is our resident Nashville resident. This is a really rough segment. This is a really rough block for yours truly. Breach is our resident Nashvilleian. What do you think about Ryan Tannehill's claim that he doesn't need to mentor Malik Willis?
I think Ryan Tannehill needs to hire a PR guy. I mean, the last guy who came out and said he didn't want to mentor someone was Joe Flacco, and we saw how that turned out for Flacco. He was done in Baltimore a few weeks into the season. You know what? If you're Ryan Tannehill, the answer to this question is simple. You just say, you know what? I'm going to be spending a lot of time with Malik Willis this season. We're going to be in the same practices, the same QB room. And if he has any questions, I'll be more than happy to help. You can just kind of answer the question, but also duck the question, and everyone would have moved on and been happy. That is not what he did. This was not the answer he should have given. It just makes you look, I don't want to say selfish, but as much as you're trying to keep your position and try to remain the starter, this is also a team sport. And you need to keep all the team on the same page, and you're a leader, you're the quarterback, and it doesn't feel like he did that with this comment.
Yeah, I'm with Breach. I mean, he should have just lied. I mean, yes, sure, I'll absolutely take him under my wing, yada, yada, yada. You get closed doors and you just slam the door in his face. That's really what probably Ryan Tannehill should have done, and just lie and say that he's going to help him, but really not. But ultimately, I do think this could be a good thing for Ryan Tannehill. I don't think that he should have to mentor his replacement. He's not that legacy quarterback who's on his way out, who said he's going to only play for a couple more years. He still wants to play in this league for the foreseeable future, so I don't think he necessarily has to groom anybody. But when I say I think this could be good for him, look at what we've seen over the last few years here when teams draft the successor with another quarterback already in place. Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. He goes out and wins back-to-back MVPs. Tom Brady, back in 2014 when the team drafted Jimmy Garoppolo, his completion percentage was dipping steadily, consistently 4 years in a row. All of a sudden they draft Garoppolo, he goes back up, and the Patriots are winning Super Bowls again. So sometimes this can help teams with the veteran quarterback, even if they bring in that youngster.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't blame Ryan Tannehill for being upset. And I do think that Ryan Tannehill is pretty good, generally speaking, about being honest to the media, being honest when he's speaking to fans, he doesn't hide from anything. He's a leader on that team. And not only did they draft Malik Willis, I mean, more importantly, they traded A.J. Brown. That's that. He's like, whatever. Like, you drafted Malik Willis in the third round. I'm mad that you traded A.J. Brown in the first round and you wouldn't give him more than $16 million a year. Look around me, man. Throw me a friggin' bone here and get me some help at wide receiver. Also, we've seen Ryan Tannehill earlier this offseason kind of like, there's like chatter who's staying away from the team. Clearly, his reps had reached out to the Titans and said, hey, we'd like to work on a contract extension, and Tennessee's not interested in it. So I think there's probably a sense with Tannehill that this is kind of the end of his run in Tennessee no matter what. And that's probably, when you feel that way, and that was sort of the same thing with Flacco, by the way. When you feel that way, it does tend to make you a little less likely to want to mentor somebody and to lie in public when you're asked about it. The Colts were a disappointment last year. That's what happens when you have Carson Wentz on your roster. Everyone knows that. Now, though, they have Matt Ryan. They are the favorites to win the division. Breach. Should they be the favorites to win the division? And who do you think will win the division?
Brinson, you called it a 9-8 team disappointment. That is how high the expectations were for the Colts. I do think they should be the favorites to win the division. I think the Indianapolis Colts are absolutely stacked. And not only do they have Matt Ryan, but they have Matt Ryan finally playing, he gets to play behind a competent offensive line that's actually going to be able to protect him. He actually has weapons, one of the best run games in the NFL with Jonathan Taylor. This is not what he has had with the Falcons over the past few years. And then, everyone talking about the Matt Ryan trade all offseason, you really forget how good this defense is. I mean, we have Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner, Yannick Ngakoue on that defense, and let's not forget, oh yeah, they added Stephon Gilmore. I mean, the defense is absolutely loaded. Plus, you upgraded at quarterback. We saw the odds there, Indianapolis Colts at even money. I actually think they are the best value of any team in the NFL to win their division right now. You get plus money, you get even money with the Colts, and they only have one other team to compete with because Jacksonville's not winning the division, Houston's not winning the division, maybe Tennessee, but you beat out one team, you get your even money back. I think the Colts should be favorites, and they're the best value to win the division.
I will co-sign everything Breach just said. I'm taking the Colts. I like them to win this division. And not only that, they're a sleeper team to win the Super Bowl at 22-1. That's good value there.
Oh, wow. Oh, Sully just dropping the hammer with the.
I'm signing on that.
By the way, they might win the Super Bowl too. They might win. Yeah. Look, I actually don't think that's that crazy. And I've been surprised to see just how, like, there hadn't been as much optimism about Matt Ryan playing with this team. I mean, Matt Ryan still has a lot of good football left in him. He looked perfectly fine and perfectly capable of producing some high-level football last year when he was playing for the Falcons, even though they haven't had the results the last few years. And I think this is pretty similar to Phillip Rivers coming to town, where he gets to work with Frank Reich. Rivers had more experience with Reich's system, of course, but I mean, it's a really nice setup for Matt Ryan. I think at plus 100, with the moves that the Titans have made, with the possibility that Malik Willis could come in midway through the season if Ryan Tannehill isn't playing well, with Derrick Henry, coming off that injury, how will he respond? With A.J. Brown gone, I think the Colts are fantastic value at anything with a plus sign in front of it. I would even probably take them to minus 125. They just feel to me like the best team in the division, well coached, maybe a Super Bowl sleeper, but absolutely my pick to win the division as we stand here today. Of course, it being May and we don't even know the schedule, but whatever. Never too early to pick a division winner, and that's what we did here. All right, that'll do it for us here on the Pick Six Podcast Show. For BMAC, for Sully, for Breach, I'm Brinson. We'll see you guys later. Make sure to check out the podcast, your daily NFL fix with yours truly.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.